Well, hey everybody, how's it going? This is Gravy, just signing in and having a good time here today. We're going to be watching a video of us leaving the IP station and then just cruising around Kirkuk. These are the construction guys. Yeah, they were pretty handsy people. They loved to hug each other and walk hand in hand. So yeah, very handsy, touchy, feely with each other. But yeah, we're leaving the IP station. We're just gonna go cruise around, kind of like a block, and see what's up. Serpentine. And we go back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, just so nobody can have a straight run at the gate, they put obstacles that you gotta serpentine around. But yeah. So yeah, we're gonna come out here and, like I was saying earlier, this construction, it's interesting to see how they do it. But they love their brick walls, that's for sure. They're everywhere. Yeah, a lot of these gates are pretty ornate, but they'll never have like an image or like faces or trees or that type of stuff. Well, if they're Muslim anyway, it'll be all geometric shapes because they don't believe in reproducing images. So, but yeah, we're just cruising around Kirkuk, kind of checking the road out, making sure there's nothing new and shiny. Like, they can cover it up with dirt, but if the dirt falls off, it's still going to be, shinier than the stuff around it. So that's what we look for. Um, yeah, also checking out, um, making sure people aren't, standing in suspicious places. Here's the Chamber of Commerce for Kirkuk. Yeah, we cruised by this quite a few times. So, but yeah, it's like that person there, kind of suspicious, but yeah. And then, I will have a family-friendly dismount, so that way if young ears are in the room, nothing will offend them. There's one or two that I have, but I think YouTube will ding me if I post them, so I probably shouldn't. But yeah, I'm not sure if that was a bus stop where they were checking IDs or something. But yeah, we're gonna take off and go kind of northeast. As you can see, they have multiple like wagon wheel spokes. Some of them go actual north south, some of them go east west, but a lot of them, they just go northeast, southwest, yeah, all cattywampus and curved, and yeah. So it took a little while to kind of make a mental map in my head of where everything is. Sorry if you can hear that the fire truck is going out. This is oil and gas station kind of place, and the welding shop. We come by the welding shop here quite a few times too. I wish I could remember what we called these roads. I remember like two of them was Cheyenne and Santa Fe. That was our names for the roads anyway. So, but yeah, just keep an eye out, make sure, there's nothing new out there on the roads that shouldn't be there. So yeah, you kind of make a mental map of where the crap is and where the shops are, stuff like that. But yeah. You'll see that moon and star, like all down the wall there. See that quite often. It's spray painted all over the place. Now, I can be wrong, but I believe this was the start of the parade route, if I remember right. That blue thing there in the background, blue and white.
Which side was it on?
Because I think there's a stage with like an amphitheater back that way. I think if you look, now the truck's in the way, but I think that's the train station back behind there. I'm pretty sure we get behind it, and I'll show it to you when we pass by. But when we go out there and search the station and make sure nothing looks out of the ordinary. But yeah. In fact, we did it on July 15th. But yep, here's the dismount. we're going to be leaving the dismount here in just a second. So now we're back on the road. But yeah, we did just there'll be another dismount too. But I couldn't put that on YouTube. I probably could if I bleeped it out, but yeah, it's, I don't know. You can't really get the context unless there's a voice, so I just won't post that. And if I remember right, this main road here, I think that was Cheyenne or Santa Fe, one of the two. But yeah, that was our names for it anyway. Yeah, that jumpsuit there, those were really popular. You'll see a lot of the kids wearing them. In fact, if you look, like nearly everybody is wearing long sleeve shirts. So I believe this was like April, if I remember right. I think that's when I started filming, was during early spring. So it is a little nippy, I guess. Especially when you're used to it. Yep, dismount. Now we're back on the road. Yeah, a lot of these buildings kind of remind me of an old theater. The shapes of them, with a couple stories and the awning, hanging out over. So, but yeah. If I remember right, this is, yeah, we're getting into like, if you looked straight down the road, you'd see row after row after row of these, well, palm trees, I guess, and then those type of trees. But the palm trees are really tall. Well, that one's not. But those others were pretty tall. Yeah, this is the tire warehouse. Tons of tires. I think that was one of their main exports or products that they sold, was tires. Tires, oil, gasoline, asphalt, that type of stuff. I think that was like their main commodity, I think is what it's called. But, yeah. Okay. So now we're heading east. No, sorry, west. Yeah. Yeah. Can't see the shadow. Oh, there we go. Nope, take that back. We're heading northeast. See, it's like that road I think is going north, but we're going northeast. More east than north. There's very few square blocks. Yeah, this is kind of the outskirt of the. You'll see a lot of residential buildings in here. But, I guess these are more businesses. But I think these here, these smaller ones, are individual homes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. See all that garbage. Man. Yeah, we did end up collaborating with the Iraqi policemen and I guess some other organizations, and they did Hands Across Kirkuk, and then they did Operation Clean Sweep, where they took water trucks and just started spraying down the roads and sweeping up and picking up garbage and crap like that. That was pretty close to when I injured myself, and then I had to come off of patrols. I blew my back out, or herniated a disc, I should say. But, yep, just a lot of route clearance, I guess is what it's called, making sure it's safe and clear for the next people. So, but yeah, these are a lot of residential buildings. Now, these big warehouses, you'll see them quite a few times too. We go by here quite a bit. And there's that big square water tower, so you kind of know where you're at there. But if you look to the very far right, you can see the MRAP there. Now you see a Humvee, and then another MRAP, or no, another Humvee, I guess, and then a MRAP. That was another patrol, and we were joking, yeah, let's stay away from them. So, but, yeah. So now we're just making a U-E so we can make a left hand, or well, a right hand turn, because for some reason you can't turn left. Like, see, there's bricks and these T-walls like in the way. Now there's a median. You can't turn left. You have to go down the road, around a circle, or flip a U-E like we just did, and then come back so that you can make a left-hand turn, or a right-hand turn now. So yeah, it was difficult, especially since we weren't supposed to jump the curbs and go counterflow. We were supposed to obey all traffic laws. So yeah. Coca-Cola, not sponsored. But yeah. Their Coke cans were like steel. they were magnetic and like thicker and heavier than ours. So yeah, I wanted to bring some home, but they said that's a no-go. It could have residual bacteria and whatever else, germs. So they told me I couldn't bring it back. Yeah, we're kind of back in the same neighborhood as the Iraqi police station again. So we've kind of made like a little U-turn, cruising the square, as I would say. Oh, Coca-Cola again, not sponsored. But yeah, we're kind of just cruising the same old spots over and over again. So you'll definitely see a lot of the same places over and over again. More tires. Yeah, you'll see the gasoline guys out here. I think they're coming up here pretty soon. They just sit out on the curb with like big 5-gallon jugs of gasoline and they'll pour it into the cars. I wish I could read Arabic so I can tell you what that building was. Oh, here we go. Here's the murals. These were really cool. But I can't tell you who did them. I don't know if it was locals or civilian contractors or military personnel. I don't know. But I would say probably locals. Yeah. Thought we were getting closer to them guys, but I guess not. Some more construction. There's the gas guy. See? They just sit out there and wait for somebody to pull up and then they give them gas. Yeah, if you notice, that dude over there was wearing a long sleeve shirt and a jacket. So, to them it was a little bit chilly, I guess. There was a couple times I got chilly, but most of the time I was roasting. Well, it wasn't like painfully hot, only but maybe a few weeks. Yeah. But yeah, this is Kirkuk. These fields are pretty flat and cleaned up for the most part. I mean, there's trash that's blown in there and stuff, but there's no big, huge piles of like scrap metal and just garbage can or bags full of junk. So they did some cleaning up around here. But yeah, as you can see there in the background, that's the train station. That's the backside of it. We had to go search it quite a few times, but yeah, it was a poo, POO, poo site, point of origin. So they would sit over there and thunk, shoot the mortars over the road and try and hit us, or the airfield, one of the two. So, but yeah, I was riding the bus one day when I we had to stop the bus and then like go to a little shelter, and the whistle hadn't gone off for the all clear, but I was like, I don't hear anything else, so I'm going back to the bus. And everybody just decided, okay, yeah, let's go. And about that time, the whistle took off or blew, so then we were allowed to continue as we were. But yeah, you could hear the thunk and then the thud when it hit, but it didn't go off. It just like bounced a couple times. So yeah. Just taking our time, cruising the streets and making our presence known, I guess. So here we are back again. We've made our loop. So I think this is our final loop. I think now we're gonna turn and head to the fob. So, but yeah, these are some of the main streets of Kirkuk. And yes, they do have street lights, but a lot of them never worked. So, but yeah, I think you guys have seen all the rest of this, so we're gonna cut it short right here. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Please like and share. Appreciate it.